Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the 2025 Annual Stockholders Meeting of Philippine Realty and Holdings Corporation. Allow me to call the Corporate Secretary, Attorney Rex P. Bonifacio, to do the honor of introducing the members of the Board of Directors.
Thank you. Joining us in this meeting through a live webcast are the following: Mr. Gerardo Domenico Antonio V. Lanusa. Mr. Lanusa is the chairman of the board and at the same time the chairman of the Executive Committee, Management Committee, and Project Committee. He is also a member of the Procurement Committee and Retirement Plan Committee. Mr. Renato G. Nunez. Mr. Nunez is the vice chairman of the board and the lead independent director of the company. He is also the chairman of the Audit Committee. Mr. Nunez is likewise a member of the Executive Committee, Corporate Governance Committee, and Nominations Committee, Board Risk Oversight Committee, Related Party Transactions Committee, and Retirement Plan Committee. Mr. Gerardo O. Lanusa Jr. Mr. Lanusa is the Chairman Emeritus and member of the Executive Committee and Procurement Committee. Mr. Antonio O. Olbes. Mr. Olbes is the Vice Chairman Emeritus of the company. Mr. Edmundo C. Medrano. Mr. Medrano is the President of the company. He is also a member of the Executive Committee, Board Risk Oversight Committee, Related Party Transactions Committee, Procurement Committee, Retirement Plan Committee, Management Committee, and Project Committee. Mr. Amador C. Bacani. Mr. Bacani is a director and a member of the Executive Committee, Audit Committee, Related Party Transaction Committee, Procurement Committee, and Retirement Plan Committee. Ms. Kiara Rosario Julia V. Lanusa Paredes. Ms. Paredes is a director, vice president of Sultan's Power Incorporated, and a member of the board of directors of Reconex Energy Corporation. Mr. Andrew C. Nang. Mr. Nang is a director and the chairman of the Procurement Committee. Mr. Alfonso Martin E. Esmendi. Mr. Esmendi is an independent director and chairman of the Corporate Governance and Nominations Committee. He is also a member of the Audit Committee, Board Risk Oversight Committee, and Related Party Transactions Committee. Mr. Jomart O. Arolado. Mr. Arolado is an independent director and chairman of the Board Risk Oversight Committee and Related Party Transaction Committee. He is also a member of the Corporate Governance and Nominations Committee, Audit Committee, and Procurement Committee. Ms. Rosalinda Y. Basas. Ms. Basas is an independent director of the company. At this point, we wish to acknowledge, Mr. Chairman, the contributions of our director, Mr. Gregory G. Yang. He is a past director of the company. We will also want to recognize the presence of the key officers of the company and guests.
And now to preside over this meeting at Quezon City, our Vice Chairman, Mr. Renato G. Nunez.
Thank you, Ross. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, the meeting will now come to order. Mr. Corporate Secretary, have notices been duly sent as required by the bylaws?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, a copy of today's meeting was published in print and online format in Business Mirror and Business World on June 2 and 3, 2025, respectively, in compliance with the notice dated April 20, 2020 by the Securities and Exchange Commission.
Mr. Corporate Secretary, do we have a quorum?
Mr. Chairman, there are present in this meeting shareholders owning 6,279,437,891 shares, representing 69% of the 9,100,102,685 total outstanding shares of the corporation as of record date March 31, 2025. Therefore, there is a quorum and this meeting may proceed.
Thank you, Attorney Rex. Attorney Bonifacio will now share the rules of conduct for this meeting.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The rules of conduct for this meeting are set forth in the definitive information statement. Mr. Chairman, I would just like to highlight some points to our shareholders who are joining us in our live webcast. Stockholders who have registered and voted on or before the deadline as provided in the definitive information statement and notice of stockholders meeting shall be considered for purposes of determining quorum. All questions, comments, or clarifications shall be addressed to the chairman of the meeting and shall be entertained, read, and responded to during the question and answer or after the other matter. The moderator of the meeting shall read the questions, which shall be responded to by whoever the chairman of the meeting may appoint or designate from the members of the board or officers of the corporation. Stockholders may send their questions, comments, or clarifications or matters related to the items in the agenda through the comment section found in the Zoom link. The company will endeavor to answer all questions. All queries not answered during the question and answer portion, for whatever reason, will be responded to by your corporate secretary via email. The meeting is being recorded in compliance with the guideline for online meetings issued by the SEC, and by joining our live webcast, our stockholders are deemed to have given their consent thereto. And lastly, in compliance with the revised Corporation Code of the Philippines, Mr. Chairman, I will be reporting the voting results after the discussion of each item on the agenda, and the same shall be reflected in the minutes of this meeting. That's all, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. The first item on the agenda is the reading and the approval of the minutes of the last annual stockholders meeting. It was held on June 28, 2024. A copy of the minutes of last year's annual meeting is posted on the company's website. Are there any comments on the minutes? There being none, the chair will now entertain a motion for the approval of the said minutes.
Mr. Chairman, I respectfully move that the reading of the minutes of the annual stockholders meeting held on June 28, 2024 be dispensed with, and that the same be approved and ratified as recorded. I am Paul Jan Cinco, a proxy holder.
Mr. Chairman, I second the motion. I am Maria Teresa Panessa, a proxy holder.
It has been moved and seconded that the reading of the minutes of the last annual stockholders meeting of the corporation held last June 28, 2024 be dispensed with, and that the same be approved and ratified as recorded. Mr. Corporate Secretary, may we know the voting results for this item on the agenda?
Mr. Chairman, shareholders owning 6,279,437,891 shares, representing 69% of the 9,100,102,685 total outstanding shares represented in this meeting, in favor of the approval, ratification, and confirmation of the minutes of the last stockholders meeting held on June 28, 2024.
Are there any objections? There being none, the motion is carried. The next item on the agenda is the presentation of the annual report of the Board of Directors. Global economic challenges have affected the country's real estate industry, causing fluctuations, slow growth, and overall uncertainty. But amid the challenges, we remain confident in our dedication to delivering quality in each of our projects, which is rooted in our deep understanding of the upscale market. Even with the market increasingly evolving to be more discerning, we are certain and definite that through our superior product offerings, conceptualized and developed to exceed the demands of even the most discriminating of customers, we will achieve unmatched customer satisfaction that eventually will translate into success for the company. As we continue to navigate the changing real estate landscape, with your support, we are confident that we can further strengthen our position as a leader in the upscale market. Let me now call on our President, Mr. Edmundo C. Medrano, to present to us the financial and operational highlights of the past year and an overview of what's in store for 2025.
Good afternoon to everyone joining us in this virtual meeting. To our valued stockholders, members of the board of directors, my colleagues at PhilRealty, and our distinguished guests, thank you for being part of this year's annual stockholders meeting. This yearly gathering serves as an opportunity to reflect on the milestones, accomplishments, and challenges that the company has encountered and addressed over the past year. Before I present PhilRealty's performance for 2024, allow me first to provide a brief overview of the real estate landscape in the Philippines. The Philippine real estate market, in general, is projected to grow at a compounded annual growth rate, or CAGR, of 3.57% from 2025 to 2029, with residential real estate market projected to reach a value of $5.82 trillion in 2025. The luxury real estate market in 2025 is also expected to see continued growth and opportunities fueled by rising demand, especially from ultra-high net worth individuals. Demand in the luxury residential segment will continue to remain strong with an anticipated 5% year-on-year capital appreciation over the next 5 years. Demand for premium residential units is not only making a comeback, but is also rebounding significantly. Over the past 12 to 24 months, luxury and ultra-luxury condominium units have been breaking price barriers. Some are priced between 700,000 pesos and 900,000 pesos per square meter, with total contract prices ranging from 200 million pesos to as much as 540 million pesos per unit. The value of luxury condominiums is closely tied to their location. Properties situated in prime areas such as Bonifacio Global City, Makati, and Rockwell continue to attract high-end buyers. In fact, the real estate market in BGC is projected to remain strong in 2025, with continued high demand and limited supply driving up prices. BGC's appeal as a premium residential and commercial hub is expected to persist, making it an attractive location for investors and renters alike. All these years, your company has remained committed to consistently pursuing the development of premium, upscale residential projects tailored to our curated market. However, the prudent strategy that your company has adopted during the pandemic years has in turn resulted in challenges that affected our key performance indicators. Given the uncertainty posed by the COVID-19 pandemic, it was our decision to put on hold the development and construction of our luxury residential condominium tower in BGC until such time that business conditions become favorable once more. But the postponement delayed the entry into the market of new units for sale. With that background, I now present the financial results of PhilRealty for the year 2024. Our total revenues closed at 382.2 million pesos in 2024, a decrease from last year's 726.6 million. This decline was anticipated as part of our ongoing transition from successfully selling existing inventory to creating a new pool of units for sale. While this has temporarily reduced our top-line figures, we remain confident that the strategic adjustments that we are putting in place will create a stronger foundation for us to capture the opportunities that we have identified. Real estate sales for 2024 totaled 28 million pesos, primarily driven by the near total sellout in past years of PhilRealty's ready for occupancy residential condominium units. This reflects the market appeal and desirability of your company's product offerings, underscoring the value and quality that our developments deliver to discerning buyers. Meanwhile, our income from rent saw an increase of 13 million pesos, closing at 78.2 million pesos in 2024 versus 65.2 million in 2023. Net loss of 121.2 million pesos was reported in 2024, which was an expected result given the company's success in selling out its inventory of units for sale in past years, such that it ran out of inventory to sell. As explained earlier, your management opted to postpone the development of the Unico residential tower during the pandemic years until such time that health and business conditions improve. Thus, no new inventory was brought into the market to replace the units sold. The move was considered by many, particularly by our bankers, as a very prudent and responsible decision. PhilRealty has maintained very conservative and acceptable liquidity and solvency ratios during the periods under review. Our company's debt-to-equity ratio increased slightly in 2024 as PhilRealty began to draw on its 3.8 billion 5-year term loan from PBCom to partially finance the construction of the Unico residential tower. As of December 31, 2024, the group's total assets stood at 9.7 billion pesos, representing an 8% increase over the previous year's 9 billion pesos. Current assets contributed to this growth, ending the year at 3.9 billion pesos, compared to the previous year's 3.2 billion pesos, for an increase of 23%. Much of this can be attributed to a 532.1 million peso increase in prepayments and a 322 million increase in real estate inventories, which are directly attributable to the ongoing construction of the company's Unico residential tower in BGC. Beyond our financial results, it is equally important to recognize the meaningful progress we've made on the operational front. Progress that lays the groundwork for sustainable growth and long-term viability. 2024 will be remembered as the year that the construction of Unico commenced. Unico is PhilRealty's 40-story, upscale residential condominium tower located in the most preferred high-rise residential location in the country, and that is the Bonifacio South District of Bonifacio Global City. Featuring a design philosophy that emphasizes harmonious living environment, Unico is set to house not just residential units ranging from luxurious penthouses to stylish but functional apartments, but will also offer premium health and wellness amenities. These amenities include, but not limited to, a doctor's clinic, lap pool, a senior wading pool, children's pool, jacuzzi, gym, studio, sauna, steam room, and hot and cold plunge. The Unico Residential Tower project has been making continuous progress, proceeding smoothly from site clearing to vertical construction. Major milestones including bulk excavation, lean concreting, and mat foundation were all completed on time. These were followed by the successful completion of the basement parking levels and the ground floor area, as well as the podium parking levels and the amenity floors. Ahead of schedule, Unico is destined to become one of BGC's premier residential addresses, exemplifying PhilRealty's dedication to high-quality development and enduring value. A wholly owned subsidiary, Three Corners Realty Corporation, has been incorporated. The transfer by PhilRealty of a property in BGC located at the corner of 6th Avenue and 25th Street in exchange for voting preferred shares is currently in process. We warmly welcome this new subsidiary, which we expect to help diversify your company's portfolio in line with its long-term plans for growth. This subsidiary is also expected to help strengthen our market presence and extend our reach, creating new sources for revenues that will further ensure our long-term viability. As we close this year's report, we return to what has always set us apart, and that is our unwavering commitment to building with purpose. In every decision we make and in every partnership that we nurture, we are guided by intention, trust, and a deep respect for the communities we serve. While the road ahead may still hold challenges, we move forward with clarity and conviction, designing functional spaces that are built to last and with sustainability in mind. With the support of our stockholders and our partners, we will continue to shape a future rooted in purpose, driven by integrity, and defined by excellence. Thank you and a good day to all.
The chair will now entertain a motion for the approval of the annual report and the audited financial statements for the year end 2024.
Mr. Chairman, I move that the annual report and the audited financial statement for the year ended 2024 be approved, ratified, and confirmed. I am John Beresa, a proxy holder.
Mr. Chairman, I second the motion. I am Lady Mitra, a proxy holder.
It has been moved and seconded that the annual report and the audited financial statements for the year ended 2024 be approved, ratified, and confirmed. Mr. Corporate Secretary, may we know the voting results for this item on the agenda?
Mr. Chairman, shareholders owning 6,279,437,891 shares, representing 69% of the 9,100,102,685 total outstanding shares represented in this meeting, voted in favor of the approval of the annual report and the audited financial statements for the year ended 2024.
Are there any objections? The chair hears none. The motion is carried. We now come to the election of the directors for the 2025 to 2026 term. 11 seats on the board are available to be filled up. May I know from the Corporate Secretary the list of nominees for the election as members of the Board of Directors for the 2025 to 2026 term?
Now, the following individuals were nominated for election as members of the Board of Directors for the 2025 to 2026 term. They were qualified by the Corporate Governance and Nomination Committee of the Corporation. Each nominee, if elected, will serve as a director for 1 year beginning today until his or her successor is duly elected and qualified in accordance with the bylaws of the Corporation. Mr. Gerardo Domenico Antonio V. Lanusa, Mr. Gerardo O. Lanusa Jr., Mr. Antonio O. Olves, Mr. Edmundo C. Medrano, Mr. Amador C. Bacani, Ms. Kiara Rosario Julia V. Lanusa Paredes, Mr. Andrew C. Nang. And for the independent directors, we have Mr. Renato G. Nunez, Mr. Alfonso Martin E. Esmendi, Mr. Joe Mark O. Arolado, and Ms. Rosalinda Y. Basas. The names of the nominees and their qualifications are provided in the definitive information statement submitted by the corporation to the SEC.
Mr. Chairman, I move that all the nominees for members of the Board of Directors be declared as duly elected directors of the corporation to serve as such for 1 year beginning today until their successors are duly elected and qualified. I am Maria Teresa Panesa, a proxy holder.
I second the motion. I am Paul Jancico, a proxy holder.
It has been moved and seconded that all the nominees be declared as duly elected directors of the corporation to serve as such for 1 year beginning today until their successors are duly elected and qualified in accordance with the bylaws of the corporation. Are there any objections? The chair hears none. The motion is carried. There being enough seats on the board to be filled up by all the 11 nominees, the following are elected as directors of the corporation to serve for 1 year term. Gerardo Domenico Antonio V. Lanusa, Gerardo O. Lanusa Jr., Antonio O. Olbes, Edmundo C. Medrano, Amador C. Bacani, Chiara Rosario Julia V. Lanusa Paredes, Andrew Nang, and independent directors, namely myself, Renato G. Nunez, Alfonso Martin E. Esmendi, Jomark O. Arrollado, and Ms. Rosalinda Y. Bata. The corporate secretary is directed to apply the votes received in favor of the 11 nominees, who are all deemed duly elected members of the Board of Directors of Philippine Realty and Holdings Corporation.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, all votes cast and received by the corporation's stock and transfer agent have been applied. Each of the 11 nominees has received 6,279,437,891 shares, representing 69% of the 9,100,102,685 total outstanding shares represented in this meeting.
On behalf of the members of the previous Board of Directors, allow me to express our gratitude for the trust and confidence that the stockholders have reposed in us. Thank you. We shall now proceed with the ratification of all acts and proceedings of the Board of Directors, Board Committee, and officers since the last annual stockholders meeting that was held on June 28, 2024.
Mr. Chairman, I move that all acts, resolutions, contracts, deeds, and proceedings of the Board of Directors, board committees, and officers of the corporation since the last annual stockholders meeting held on June 28, 2024, and up to today's meeting, as set forth or reported in the minutes of the meeting of the Board of Directors and its committees, and the report submitted by the corporation to the SEC, PSE, and other regulatory bodies, and all acts and proceedings performed or taken pursuant thereto, be approved, ratified, and confirmed. I am Lady Mitra, a proxy holder.
I second the motion. I am John Villesa, a proxy holder.
It has been moved and seconded that all acts, contracts, deeds, and proceedings of the Board of Directors, Board Committees, and officers of the corporation since the last annual stockholders meeting and up to today's meeting, as set forth or reported in the minutes of the meeting of the Board of Directors and its committee, and reports submitted by the corporation to the SEC, PSE, and other regulatory bodies, and all acts and proceedings performed or taken pursuant thereto, be approved, ratified, and confirmed. Mr. Corporate Secretary, may we know the voting results for the item on this agenda?
Mr. Chairman, shareholders owning 6,279,437,891 shares, representing 69% of the 9,100,102,685 total outstanding shares represented in this meeting, voted in favor of the approval and ratification of all acts, contracts, deeds, and proceedings of the Board of Directors, Board Committees, and officers of the corporation since the last annual stockholders meeting and up to today's meeting.
Are there any objections? There being none, the motion is carried. The next item on our agenda is the appointment of an external auditor for the corporation for the year 2025.
Mr. Chairman, I respectfully move that Maceda Valencia and Company be appointed as the external auditor of the corporation for the year 2025, subject to such terms and conditions as may be imposed subsequently by the Board of Directors. I am Paul John Cinco, a proxy holder.
I second the motion. I am Maria Teresa Panesa, a proxy holder.
It has been moved and seconded that Maceda Valencia and Company be appointed as the external auditor of the corporation for the ensuing year, subject to such terms and conditions as may be imposed subsequently by the Board of Directors. Mr. Corporate Secretary, may we have the voting results for this item on the agenda?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, shareholders owning 6,279,437,891 shares, representing 69% of the 9,100,102,685 total outstanding shares represented in this meeting, voted in favor of the appointment of Maceda, Valencia and Company as the external auditor of the corporation for the 2025 or for the year 2025, subject to such terms and conditions as may be imposed subsequently by the Board of Directors.
Are there any objections? There being none, the motion is carried. Mr. Corporate Secretary, are there any other matters that require consideration by the shareholders?
There is none, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. There being none, we can now address some of the questions, comments, and clarifications from the stockholders. Our Assistant Vice President for Special Projects, Mr. Rosano L. Santos, will now read the questions, comments, or clarifications together with the names of the stockholders who sent them.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, we have a question from the proxy of Mr. Jonathan Sandejas. The question reads, what are the challenges luxury property developers are facing now, and what strategies are in place to mitigate risk in the market?
I request our President, Mr. Medrano, to respond to the question.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. There are two aspects to that question. Allow me to answer each aspect briefly. First, the biggest challenge the luxury residential condominium property developers are facing now is rising construction costs, which in turn place upward pressure on prices. While the broader market may be experiencing oversupply issues, fortunately, in key central business districts like Makati and BGC, high-end properties continue to see very strong demand from a discerning and affluent clientele, whose demand for upscale dwelling units we consider to be inelastic. This demand is driven by factors like sustained economic growth, increasing affluence, and the perception of strong capital appreciation potential in these areas. Also going for Metro Manila in general is that our luxury residential condominium units are generally more affordable compared to those in major Southeast Asian global hubs like Hong Kong or Singapore or even Bangkok, although prices in Makati and in BGC are also rising, driven by strong investor confidence and pent-up demand. As regards the second part of the question, PhilRealty has always focused on its market niche, the upscale luxury residential condominium market, and where its buyers have experienced meaningful growth in their investments. This is the market that your company knows best. In the specific case of Unico, our new upscale residential tower project, it is located in the most prime area of BGC, the Bonifacio South District. There is also the aspect of having just a few available units for sale, so marketing them will not be difficult. In terms of pricing, we are offering competitive prices for a vastly superior product in terms of use of the highest quality materials, well thought out layouts, top-tier amenities, and high capital appreciation potential. We have also consciously avoided competing in terms of price point with various lot prices in the exclusive subdivisions of Makati. We have studied our Unico project very well, and we are certain that we have mitigated and addressed adequately the risks involved. Thank you, and I hope I answered your questions.
Thank you, Mr. Medrano, for bringing light to the matter. Mr. Chairman, we have no more questions.
There being no other questions from stockholders, the chair will now entertain a motion for adjournment.
Mr. Chairman, I move that the meeting be adjourned. I am Paul Cinco, a proxy holder.
I second the motion. I am Maria Teresa Panesa, a proxy holder.
It has been moved and seconded that the meeting be adjourned. Are there any objections? There being none, the meeting is now adjourned. We will be posting a link to the recorded meeting on our website at www.philrealty.com.ph. Stockholders may raise any issue, clarification, and concern during the meeting conducted by sending an email to corporatesecretary@philrealty.com.ph. Thank you very much for joining us.
It is indeed a fine afternoon, and once again, on behalf of Philippine Realty and Holdings Corporation, we would like to thank our newly elected board of directors, our key officers of the company, stockholders, and guests who have joined us today in Philippine Realty and Holdings Corporation's 2025 Annual Stockholders Meeting. Good day, everyone. Thank you.